We all know how fast information travels on land, but what happens when you're out at sea? A single piece of bad information can put lives and even entire vessels at risk. We're about to dive into a really critical advisory that addresses this exact problem, and it's something every single seafarer and their family really needs to hear.
And look, this isn't just a friendly suggestion. What you're seeing here is DGS Circular 11 of 2026. It's an official directive, straight from India's Directorate General of Shipping. And when a body like that issues a formal advisory, well, you know the problem has gotten serious.
So, what's the big deal? Why this warning right now? You know, official bodies don't just send out these kinds of circulars for no reason. Something has been happening out on the water that required an immediate and a very, very clear response.
It all starts in a very specific and, let's be honest, a very tense part of the world. The threat is brewing in the Gulf.
So here's the heart of the issue. There are these unverified reports spreading like wildfire online, specifically about vessels in the Gulf region and the Strait of Hormuz. I mean, two of the most sensitive maritime choke points on the entire planet. And these aren't official bulletins, they're just rumors. And in an environment like that, rumors are dangerous. This is what the advisory calls speculative information. The best way to think about it is like a digital whisper campaign. You know, it's unconfirmed, it's often flat out wrong, and it's designed to spread incredibly fast across the same social media and messaging apps we all use every day.
But this isn't just about false data floating around in cyberspace. It's about the very real, very human toll this stuff takes. Let's talk about the anxiety of misinformation.
The advisory really pulls no punches here. It says this misinformation is, and I'm quoting, causing unnecessary anxiety and distress among seafarers and their families. This isn't some theoretical problem. It's directly hurting people's well-being, both on the ships and for their worried loved ones back home.
And that anxiety, it doesn't just stay with one person. It creates this huge ripple effect. A single unverified post can cause total panic for a family. That panic then starts to erode trust within the whole community. And in the worst-case scenario, a crew could make a life-or-death security decision based on a complete lie.
So, with this problem clearly getting worse, the authorities knew they had to step in with a clear, organized response. And that brings us to the official advisory itself.
This is that official response. DGS Circular 11 is basically the tool that's been designed to fight back against this tidal wave of misinformation and bring some stability back to how we all communicate at sea. When you lay it all out like this, the choice couldn't be clearer, could it? On one side, you've got the risk of speculation, which just leads to panic and dangerous security incidents. And on the other, you have the responsibility to communicate clearly, which builds confidence and safety. The only real question is, which side are you going to be on?
And this advisory isn't just for officials sitting in an office somewhere. Nope, it's a direct call to action for every single person connected to the maritime world. This part is all about your critical role in all this.
Okay, so what do you actually do? The advisory boils it down to a 4-step action plan. It's simple, but it is incredibly powerful. First, restraint. Fight that gut reaction to immediately share something you see. Just pause. Second, verify. Before you believe it, you have to check with official sources. Third, use official channels. Get your updates straight from the authorities, not from some random forward. And finally, and this is the most important one, stop the spread. Break that chain. Don't be the person who passes the rumor on.
And it's so important to get this. This isn't just for seafarers. This is a collective effort. We're talking everyone, from individual crew members to the biggest shipping companies and unions. Everybody is a stakeholder when it comes to keeping our information environment safe and reliable.
All right, if you only remember one thing from this entire advisory, please make it this. This is the absolute golden rule of responsible communication. Verify before you forward.
It really is that simple. The core message is to just stop. Before you hit that forward button, before you hit share, just ask yourself one question. Is this from an official, confirmed source? If the answer is no, or if you're even a little bit unsure, then just don't do it. Refrain.
You know, the advisory actually takes it one step further. It's not just about stopping the spread of bad information. It's about actively making sure that the only information getting shared is the good stuff, the authenticated updates that come directly from the competent authorities.
So, if everyone plays their part, if we all follow these guidelines, what's the end game here? What kind of community are we actually trying to build?
The goal is to build a genuinely safer maritime community, brick by brick, just by communicating responsibly. When we stop misinformation, we reduce panic. When we reduce panic,
We maintain confidence, and that ensures that the right information actually gets to the seafarers who need it the most.
So, the bottom line is this. Think about how a ship relies on its anchor in a storm. Well, the entire maritime community relies on responsible communication to stay grounded in safety and confidence. It's not a nice to have, it is absolutely essential.
And that really leaves us with one final thought, doesn't it? We all have this incredible power to share information in an instant. But this advisory is a powerful reminder that our first responsibility isn't to be fast, it's to be right. A single moment of verification can prevent a whole wave of anxiety. So what are you going to do the next time an unconfirmed report lands on your screen?